But you're both going to come out for fire, right? Oh, you know fire. Good morning. I am here. President McDonough. How are you, my friend? Yeah. So I'm showing her like this.
promise of cover. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your trouble and worry. You belong somewhere you feel free. You belong somewhere you feel free.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Society of Germantown. My name is Margaret Thompson, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation united in a common purpose to make love real in our lives and in the world. We are we are diverse in our beliefs, atheist and agnostic, believers, and seekers. And we welcome you here, no matter your race, your class, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your family structure, your job, your health. Our differences help us to see the full spectrum of the interdependent web of life. Whether this is your first, 5th, or 15th visit, we invite you to introduce yourself to someone at the welcome table, and they will be happy to answer any questions you have about this congregation or Unitarian Universalism. Please complete a visitor card and join us for fellowship and refreshments in the dining room following the service. Gender-neutral restrooms can be found at the bottom of the stairs at the back of the sanctuary, and gendered restrooms are through this door and down the hall near our dining room. Use whichever feels right for you. Following worship, anyone interested in learning more about Unitarian Universalism in general, and the Unitarian Society of Germantown in particular, is invited to a session of UU 101, which covers the history and principles of this faith and community. It will begin at 12 p.m. in the Children's Library upstairs. Also upstairs, in the Edna Jones Assembly Room at 12 p.m., you are invited to join the USG Feminists Theology Group with this month's special presentation about Wicked. Tiffany Hill and Tara Webb Dewey will discuss how the book reflects principles of Unitarian Universalism. And also at 12, Reverend Hannah will be available for a meet and greet with the Welcome Committee in the committee room off the dining room. This Thursday, November 21st, Andy Bernstein will facilitate our new monthly Caregivers Support Group at 7 p.m. Please refer to our new electronic newsletter, The Communicator, for details and the Zoom link. For more information about our events and activities, check the USG UU website and the weekly Communicator. And now, as we deepen into worship, I ask that you silence your cell phones and allow yourself to be present for this hour. But please don't silence your children. Their sounds are always welcome here.
Good morning, everyone. I am Reverend Hannah Capaldi. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve this congregation as your minister. It is good to be with you today. Our call to worship comes from the Reverend Gretchen Haley. When it comes to community, we can't help but keep it awkward. Committed as we are to wandering across borders that would set us and them on either side, we've got a messier mission. One that won't let any of us go, any of us rest, until we all are free. So let's go ahead and call in the questions we've been afraid to ask, try on the words that still feel unfamiliar, give ourselves permission to fail, and learn and try again. We are here to practice being human, together, to get our reps in, training our hearts to love more boldly, to give more generously, to imagine we all deserve a life with this much joy. To believe that what we are practicing here, we are becoming, that with every stumbling sweetness, we are making this world new. Come, let us worship together.
Please join me in reading aloud the words printed in your order of service for our chalice lighting. Our chalice will be lit by Amy Burge Caracappa and Maggie Burge Caracappa. Let us read aloud the words in your order of service for our chalice lighting. We light this chalice, the beacon that calls us to love, to justice, to a deepening of the spirit.
All right, for this next song, I'm going to sing it through once, and then we'll all sing it. Oh, sorry.
Now please rise in body and or spirit for our first hymn, number 1053 in the soft cover hymnal, How Could Anyone?
And I'll sing this through once, and then I'll sing it through together twice. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. One more time. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Let's see if, there we go. Tony, you want to stay up here with me? My name is Zoe Johnston. She, her pronouns, and I'm your Director of Spiritual Development here. And if everybody who is young or young at heart wants to come up here and join me and Tony, we are going to read a story together. And today our story is so beautifully shown on the projector. So you're welcome to either sit in the center aisle or I'm going to sit with the book. So if you want to look at the book itself, I'll be having that. Otherwise, you can sit anywhere in the center aisle that you can see the projector. Okay? And as everybody's coming up, can I ask, who's read this book before? Who's read? Oh my goodness. I see Elio has. I see that Tony has. Who else am I missing? A few other people. Okay, can everybody see it? June, you want to come sit up here with me? Okay. We'll have our stair friends and we'll have the projector friends. Get comfortable. Okay. So this morning we're going to read Julian is a Mermaid. There we go. And it starts out with some beautiful, beautiful pool. Okay, can everybody see? Julian is a mermaid. This is a boy named Julian, and this is his abuela. And those are some mermaids. Julian loves mermaids. See, he's doing some imagining. He's doing some, oh my goodness. How does that feel to everybody? Some beautiful colors, some fish. And then he does a big stretch. Does anybody do a big stretch to get into their body, to feel like a mermaid, to feel like something else, to really get into the things that feel best for them? And he meets a fish, a beautiful fish while he's underwater. It's a mermaid. Is he actually a mermaid? Yes. Vámonos, mijo. This is our stop. And the mermaids wave to him off the subway. Abuela, did you see the mermaids? I saw them, mijo. Abuela, I am also a mermaid. Are any of you mermaids? Paloma says yes. Yara says yes. Roman says yes. We have lots of mermaids here today. Violet says yes. Lovely. His abuela says, I'm going to take a bath. You be good. Julian has a good idea. Can you see what he's doing? He has a good idea, and that good idea is he's going to become a mermaid. Can you see that? Look, he's putting on a dress and a beautiful headpiece. His abuela comes out of the bath. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, how do you think he's feeling? The fish is the same pattern as his grandma's dress. And here she comes. Come here, mijo. For me, abuela. For you, Julian. They walk out of the house together. Where are we going? You'll see, says abuela. Mermaids, whispered Julian. Like you, mijo. Let's join them. And they did. Do you see? All these mermaids that Julian is with. Do you see yourself in that parade? Do all of our No? Maybe, that's okay. But all the people that said that they were mermaids, Roman and Violet and Tony and all our other kids, you are just as beautiful as all these mermaids in this parade. And they end with all the beautiful women as mermaids in the pool. And we are not going to have a mermaid parade, but we are going to parade out to the hall with the same celebration and love and excitement as all the mermaids did. And so we are going to go out as the congregation sends us out with "Go Now in Peace."
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Today we share our plate with the Abortion Liberation Fund of Pennsylvania, which protects and expands abortion access to anyone seeking reproductive health services, regardless of circumstance. A key voice for abortion rights since 1985, ALFPA provides counseling, emergency financial assistance, and critical political advocacy. They engage a broad base of supporters and reduce shame and stigma by publicly promoting the affirmative value of abortion. Please give generously, as we have found that the more we give, the more that comes our way. To give in cash or check, please drop in the plate as ushers pass by. To give by text, please follow the instructions on the back cover of your order of service. Donations can also be made through our website.
It's a strange time to be a human being, strange time to be alive. I was just about to stop believing that our planet can survive. Now I can see the world keep turning when I look into your eyes. Caroline, as you're growing up, one thing to be sure of, you are always gonna be loved. I know you're gonna see some transformations, even prophets won't foretell. Revolutions and the fall of nations, all the joy and fear inside yourself. Just remember when your heart starts breaking and you want to run and hide. Caroline, as you're growing up, one thing to be sure of, you are always gonna be loved. Ooh, ooh, Caroline, there's hardly anything that we can say with certainty, and still people keep on raising babies, making music, planting seeds. This bold hope that makes the world keep turning. I can feel it start to shine. Caroline, as you're growing up, one thing to be sure of, you are always gonna be loved.
invite you into prayer or meditation, a time to get settled, get grounded in your body. Find your feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in. Exhale fully. Let your shoulders drop. Let your brow relax. Feel yourself become present in this space of care and holy curiosity. Today's service is about celebrating transness and our trans kids. And in that spirit, I invite you during our meditation to travel back in time with me, in your mind and in your heart and in your body. Travel back to your earliest experiences of gender. Those first times of realizing that gender existed, that gender came with expectations, postures, hairstyles, clothing, doors that open and doors that close. Rest in one of those early experiences of gender and explore it in your mind a bit. What brought you into that situation? What comes up for you? How did it feel in your body? What questions were you holding? What dreams? What feels funny and strange? What feels sweet or easy or uncomplicated? Deep breath in, deep breath out. Offer compassion to this early self, this self on the cusp of so much, learning and growing. Offer compassion to those around you who did their best in the circumstances they encountered, the messages they inherited and transmitted to us. Offer compassion and heartbreak to the way each of us are recruited to enforcing rules and roles we don't even realize exist. Creative force of love beyond gender and of all genders, spirit of life, we are caught in a world we did not create. A world shaped too often by fear and shame, fear of bodies and fear of desire, fear of difference and fear of ourselves. We long to feel at home in our own bodies. We long to celebrate and give thanks for gender as a source of joy and pleasure. We long to know what would feel authentic and then to follow this path every day, over and over. Forgive us for the ways we block our own knowing and for the ways we block others. Forgive us for the ways we have limited ourselves and others, our friends, our children and grandchildren, our partners. Release us into a greater and larger freedom. Teach us to have patience with ourselves and with our world. Remind us that in unlearning the prison of gender, We unlearn the prison of race and class and all the isms, the work of a whole lifetime. Steady us in our commitment. Surround us in a healing love. Hold us in our struggles and in our celebrations. May it be so, and amen.
We invite you to contribute your joys and your sorrows to the bowls of water at the front of the sanctuary. Choose a smooth stone or a pebble and place it in the water to absorb your pain or to ripple out with your joy. Brittany will play as we process. Reverend Hannah will place stones for the healing of Mark Bernstein. We send healing thoughts to Mark Bernstein, who was hospitalized for 3 days last week with pneumonia and a heart rhythm abnormality, but is home now. May he rest and recover. Reverend Hannah will place stones for the continued healing of Andrea Durham's father, Selwyn Durham, who suffered a stroke in early October and is now in a rehabilitation center. Finally, Reverend Hannah will place one smooth stone and one pebble into the water on behalf of all who are joining us online. Please remain seated as we sing Spirit of Life, after which we will share in a moment of silence.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Before I moved to Philadelphia, I'd been attending a Quaker meeting, so it seemed obvious to me to join a Quaker meeting here. After worshiping there for more than 25 years, I realized that I had grown restless. I was living in Mount Airy, so I visited the Quaker meetings in Northwest Philadelphia. I liked the people I met, but I was no longer drawn in by meeting for worship. Knowing a little about Unitarians, I thought, they aren't that different from Quakers, philosophically. I did an internet search and was pleased to find there were 2 churches I could get to using SEPTA. It was the fall of 2016. From the first service I attended, I felt emotionally uplifted. There was a presidential election, and I was excited by how UUs expressed their values by enthusiastically supporting democracy. I remember a service during which we were encouraged to exercise our voting power. Emily Joy Goldberg sang several of her songs, including Tomorrow is Tuesday. It was electric. And then Donald Trump was elected. I was devastated. What I understood about Trump's vision of what America should be was both too recognizable and hard to accept as our future. I needed to be with people who would sympathize with my sense of loss. Having arrived so recently, I had limited connections within the USG community. I could have returned to familiar people at a Quaker meeting, where I no longer felt spiritually nourished. I took a leap of faith and continued coming to USG. I was comforted by Reverend Kent's sermons, which focused on hope, that we could weather hard times and find a way forward together. I created connections. I made friends. My understanding of my spiritual beliefs deepened. As I embraced Unitarian Universalism, I felt inspired by the call to live into our values and to try and recognize where we can improve. The USG community provides ample opportunities to examine how we're doing and to learn to be more loving and supportive to each other. Today's service honors Trans Day of Remembrance, and in that spirit, I would like to share that I will be leading an adult spiritual development book discussion on this year's UUA Common Read. Authentic Selves, Celebrating Trans and Non-Binary People and Their Families. The book discussion won't be until February, but this week I felt it was important for me to recommit myself to helping make our world safer for gender non-conforming people. The heart of Unitarian Universalism for me is living out our values.
Jesus Christ was a handsome man. He had nothing to hide. He said, give this bread to the hungry. Bring the homeless inside. Jesus Christ was a dangerous man. That's the way that he died. He said, be good to the people you love and love everybody alive. Be good to the people. Be good to the people. Be good to the people you love and love everybody alive. Dr. King was a preacher man. He had God on his side. He said, all God's children are brothers. Don't cast your brother aside. Dr. King was a dangerous man. That's the way that he died. He said, be good to the people you love and love everybody alive. Be good to the people. Be good to the people. Be good to the people you love and love everybody alive. There ain't nothing more criminal than kindness. There ain't nothing more valuable than blindness. We'll make anyone a martyr who remind us everybody's got a right to be free. So be good to the people. Be good to the people. Be good to the people you love and love everybody alive. Be good to the people. Be good to the people. Be good to the people you love and love everybody alive. Love everybody alive.
Our reading today is God Said Yes to Me. by Kaylin Hout. I asked God if it was okay to be melodramatic, and she said yes. I asked her if it was okay to be short, and she said, it sure is. I asked her if I could wear nail polish or not wear nail polish. Not wear nail polish. And she said, honey, she calls me that sometimes. She said, you can do just exactly what you want to. Thanks, God, I said. And is it even okay if I don't paragraph my letters? Sweet cakes, God said. Who knows where she picked that up? What I'm telling you is yes, yes, yes.
I like breaking their brains a little bit. I like breaking their brains just a little bit. This is a quote directly from one of my dear friends, TJ Douglas. TJ is trans, and for many years they existed in that space between man and woman. I like breaking their brains a little bit. I like watching the wheels turn, watching them try and make out which box to put me in. There was delight for TJ in the fact that they did not fit, did not compute, could not be boxed in. For their bravery in this, for their bravery and their own conviction in themselves, I call TJ a blessing in my life. Brains do tend to break a little bit when confronted with folks who don't conform to even the most basic templates of gender. I've seen this sort of breaking firsthand because my wife, she's a butch woman. She's really tall. She wears clothing from the men's department. She's got short hair. So often in the bathroom, rest stops on the highway, the double take. Wait, am I in the right place? When they see her at the sink washing hands. Wait, did I walk into the men's room? Their faces scream when they see her come out of the stall. How sad, we say. How sad, we say to each other through the quiet relief that there wasn't anything more confrontational than that. How sad that people have such a limited concept of what a woman might look like. How sad that people have such little imaginations. How sad. It is sad. It is heart-achingly, breakingly sad because that lack of imagination, that brittleness of our brains, it leads to spiritual malnourishment. Souls become hardened. It breeds fear. It breeds hate. It breeds death. The pressure to conform, to adhere to those most basic of templates, the pressure is about to intensify. As we see our worldview get smaller, more tightly prescribed, more families considered wrong, more children considered sick, when all we do, is try to live with a little more imagination. It's one of the ways that Unitarian Universalism will become even more life-saving as the next years unfold. Our brains need to break a little. Our brains need to break a little in order for us to maintain our moral imaginations. If you come here seeking a place to dream about a world in which we can all be freer, all be softened in our hearts and in our minds, you've come to the right place. In Unitarian Universalism, we believe diverse expressions of the human experience is our divine birthright. In Unitarian Universalism, we believe that many things can be true all at once. You can be woman and man. You can be neither. You can be all of it. You can be trans and lesbian. You can be trans feminine. You can decide each day when you wake up. In Unitarian Universalism, we believe that everyone has a right to self-determination. We seek deeper imaginations, souls that grow and stretch, and safe spaces for us all to exist with dignity. So what our Unitarian Universalist faith calls us to do is break our brains a little bit, yes. Stretch our souls a little, yes, but also to say to all of us, every one of us, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. It's not you that's wrong, it's the box they try to put us in. You should not be destroyed, the box should be. I have always seen trans identity as transcendental more than anything, transcendent more than anything, crossing borders and boundaries, mediated by a direct experience of the divine. Like our heretical Unitarian and transcendentalist forebears told us, each of us has access to God in our personal, private experiences, just as the poem Margaret read suggests. We can be intimate with God, casual and informal with God. We needn't a priest or a prayer to make it so. And transness, for me, seems to grow from there. To me, our children and youth who say, this is who I am an authority of my own experience, my own desires. I am figuring it out as I go. I am in process. I am becoming. It is our duty to receive that with love and holy curiosity and soulful affirmation. In this moment of historic vitriol directed at the trans community, at trans children, when so many of us are terrified for our loved ones, for our children, for their right to health care, to play team sports, their right to community, their right to exist and flourish and thrive without fear or threat of violence. In this moment, we are called to be the ones who say, sweet cakes, you can do just exactly what you want to do. And we will celebrate as you do and be just who you are. I think about this as I parent my own child who loves a high femme moment. Loves nothing more than heels and tiaras and pink dresses that twirl. And while the queer mom in me wants her to smash the binary with a love of dump trucks and tracksuits, what I need to do is say, sweet cakes, you can do exactly what you want to do. And there is transcendent, radical box breaking in that too. This Wednesday is November 20th, which is the annual Trans Day of Remembrance. It's when we honor all those lives that were lost. Trans lives lost to violence, lost to murder. And when I think about the names on that list, some of them as young as 14, each one of them, a universe. Each one of them, a whole story ended too soon. I think about how necessary and essential transness is to this world, how trans people are such a gift, such a blessing for the way they show us to and through that pressure to conform. Assata Shakur said, we must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. The trans beloveds in my life, they show me I have nothing to lose but my own chains. chains that keep me tethered to a half-realized imagination by following our trans youth, our trans leaders into a world where we are no longer confined by conscripted, tightly defined notions of gender. We all get freer. Our sign outside on Lincoln Drive lights up with the words of Fannie Lou Hamer, who said, "None of us is free till all of us are free." Heteronormative society hurts us all. All of us are imprisoned by it, and none of us is free from it until we all are free from it. The pressure to conform, the pressure to perform and embody the most basic templates of man, woman, girl, boy, the brittle image of a man in a suit, a woman in a twin set, 2 children, a collie, a picket fence. It sounds ridiculous and dated to say it out loud, but we inherited this template. It lives deep in our bones, in our subconscious, reinforced in a million quiet ways every day. And it is sad, heart-achingly sad, for all it does is set us up to fail. For who really among us has ever felt they were the perfect man or the perfect woman? We are all failing all the time to live up to these expectations. We are all having legs that are hairy or not hairy enough. We are all too muscular to be feminine, too scrawny to be masculine. We are all too soft to be manly and too hard to be womanly. We are all wearing pants and skirts and blouses and dresses and t-shirts, and you know what? At the end of the day, they're just clothes. Activist and poet Alok V. Menon says, everything, every thought, every desire, every identity, even the things we dismiss as flat, ordinary, boring, everything is a diamond, precious, complex, multifaceted. Nothing is one-dimensional. None of us is just man. None of us is just woman. We all contain multitudes. Each of us is a diamond. And none of us is free until all of us is free. So as we look around and notice what we are invited to do in this moment of rising tides of conformity, of hateful pronouncements and parsing people into boxes of right and wrong, in this moment when we are called, this moment we are called to be the abuela to all of the Julians. Because the magic in that story, the crux of that story, hinges on the moment of question as to how will Abuela react when Julian dresses up with lipstick and a flowy tail and long hair, and instead of shame, instead of confusion or even the dreaded blank stare, Abuela offers more. She offers him a necklace. She sees him. She validates him. She celebrates him, and she invites him deeper into himself. Just as God does in the poem Margaret shared before my sermon, God, who uses she, her pronouns, you can do just exactly what you want. What I'm telling you is yes. 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 God and Abuela have it right. We would do well to follow their lead and see our trans children and the trans community and invite them deeper into belonging, celebrating them and claiming them, enfolding them in the protective shell of Unitarian Universalist community as the tides of conformity rise around us all. I'm reminded of that as I leave you to head out on parental leave. I feel sadness and a little bit of guilt to be heading out just as we are building momentum, gathering strength, growing each week. But this is a shared ministry, the work of this beloved community, to work together until all are free, lest none of us ever taste the sweetness of liberation. I leave you this homework, to keep at it, trying to be the abuela to all who seek shelter here, while I am gone and when I return, so that we may make this place a safe haven for all those who lead the way towards freedom and are at very real risk of being flattened by the tidal waves of fascism. It is so sad, I said at the beginning, so heart-achingly sad. And we have power. We have power to resist it just by loving one another, loving everybody alive. With holy curiosity and an insistence on self-determination, we have power. We need to break our brains a little and keep our souls supple, soft, and open to the myriad ways of being human. It is life-giving, and it is life-saving. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Go in peace. We will meet again on Christmas Eve. May it be so, and amen. Let us sing together now, hymn number 1007, There's a River Flowing in My Soul.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul, in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart, in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my mind, in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul.
Please join me in reading together our words for extinguishing the chalice. They are printed in your order of service. We extinguish our chalice but the flame remains in us. As we live into the mission of this congregation, building beloved community with compassion, service, and empowerment.
In a moment of preparation for what is to come, you're going to benedict yourselves. You're going to repeat after me the words of revolutionary Assata Shakur. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Beloveds, we have nothing to lose but our chains. Yeah. We have nothing to lose but our chains. No, really, just let it go. I'm now benedicting you, okay? Just receive. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Don't say it. I will miss you while I am gone. For so much has already taken root here in these weeks since I joined in August. And I know when I come back, the shoots will be a little higher, the seeds will have started to sprout, and the work is never ending, my friends. So go in peace. Know you are loved. And can we hear it for Brittany Ann Trimba? If you'd like to stay seated and receive the words of our beloved Dolly Parton as our recessional, I invite you to listen now.
The hills were alive with wildflowers, and I was as wild, even wilder than they. For at least I could run. They just died in the sun. I refused to just wither in place. Just stay wild, man, roads needing freedoms to grow. So I ran, fearing not where I go. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. And the flowers I knew in the fields where I grew were content to be lost in the crowd. They were common and close. I had no room for growth, and I wanted so much to branch out. So I uprooted myself from my home ground and left. Took my dreams and I took to the road. When a flower grows wild, it can always survive. Wildflowers don't care where they grow. I grew up fast and wild, and I never felt right in a garden so different from me. I just never belonged. I just longed